So, glimpses of the past. This lesson we will discuss today. Lesson number 3, Honeydew textbook, glimpses of the past. Okay, so what you are going to study in this lesson, you are going to study about our past from the year 1757 to 1857. Okay, this lesson is going to provide you knowledge about our history from the period 1757 to 1857. Okay, so at that time what happened? The British East India Company came to our country. Okay, how it ruled our people, what kind of atrocities were made by the East India Company, how the people of our country reacted towards it, all that you are going to read. So what is the meaning of glimpses? Glimpses means a partial view. Okay, so glimpses means a partial view. Okay, and here you will study about the history of our country from 1757 to 1857. So the Britishers came here. Their key motive was to earn maximum profit from our country, and that's why they imposed heavy taxation there on the farmers, there on the Indian industries. Okay, at that time our country was ruled by different kings. Now these kings, they used to have rivalry with each other. Okay, and they used to take help of the British East India Company, British East India Company's army against each other. Okay, so there used to be constant battles among the Indian kings at that time. So this you are going to study. Then you are going to study about the role of social reformers. Britishers, they introduced English education in India. Their key motive of introducing English education in our country was to get cheap clerical staff so that they can do their work very easily with cheap clerical staff by investing very less amount. But this benefited Indians also, and many Indians being educated with English education, they understood the merits and demerits of everything, and they started motivating the other countrymen, and they started telling them about the importance of education, that how education remains important for them, and they also guided them about the drawbacks prevailing in Indian society at that time. So certain social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, they guided people, okay, about the drawbacks which were prevailing there in Indian society. Then finally, what happened? The Battle of 1857 was fought as there was a dissatisfaction among the Indian farmers, a dissatisfaction was there among Indian soldiers, okay, and a dissatisfaction was there among Indian industrial groups. So all these together, it developed a discontent among the Indian people, and they raised their voice against the Britishers, which led to First War of India's independence. So all this you have studied there in your history textbook. This we are going to study. Okay, so have you understood, children, what the lesson is about? Just tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Karisma, Meghwal. Yes, Karisma, tell me what you have understood, what the lesson is about. Yes, Karisma. What the lesson tells about? It tells about the history of our country from 1757 to 1857. Okay, you will get an account of different historical events which took place in our country from 1757 to 1857. You have understood it or not? Yes, children? Your response is very important. Provide your response.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so repeat it, what you have understood. Yes, Subham, Algia, Gia.
Sir, please repeat. There is some network issue.
Okay, okay. So it is about the glimpses of our past. It will the lesson will provide you about the historical details of our country from the period 1757 to 1857. Okay, so before you read, here are some pictorial glimpses of the history of our country from 1757 to 1857. These pictures and speech bubbles will help clarify your understanding of the conditions that led to the event known as First War of Independence, that is the revolt of 1857. So what the revolt of 1857 is also known as, it is also known as the First War of Independence. It is also known as the First War of India's independence. Okay, so you will come to know after studying the lesson that what was the cause for the revolt of 1857 or the First War of India's independence. Is it clear to you, children? Yes, children, keep on providing your response.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So first it is regarding the martyrs. Okay, so at a function in Delhi, you can see the picture and you can find who is there in the picture. Lata Mangeshkar, the famous singer. Okay, so at a function in Delhi, she sang this: "Oh my countrymen, let your eyes fill with tears, and you recall the sacrifices of India's martyrs." She sang this song, okay, and what she sang? "Oh my countrymen, let your eyes fill with tears, let your eyes fill with tears as you recall the sacrifices of India's martyrs." Okay, so you remember the song? This is about which song? The song is, yes, children, she sang the song. Can anyone tell about the song? It is which song? Okay, so I will ask you, just remember it. The company's conquest 1757 to 1849. Then it is providing a description about the conquest of Britishers from 1757 to 1849. Okay, with the superior weapons, the British East India Company was extending its power in 18th century India. In 18th century India, British East India Company was extending its power in our country. With the help of what? It was able to extend its power. It was able to extend its power with the help of its superior weapons. Superior means of better quality. So the weapons of Britishers were of better quality, and as their weapons were of better quality, they were able to extend their rule in our countries. They were able to extend their empire in our countries. Okay, and the weapons of India at that time, they were not of that much good quality as that of the British army. then Indian princes were short-sighted. The Indian princes at that time, they were short-sighted. Short-sighted means they were unable to see long-term objectives. What is the meaning of short-sighted, right? Short-sighted means unable to see long-term objectives. So Indian princes at that time, they were short-sighted. They were unable to see the long-term objectives of the Britishers. And as they were short-sighted, they used to take help of a British army against the Indian rulers. If any dispute used to be there, if any difference of opinion used to be there with any of the king, then they used to take help of the British army. And due to this, what happened? Britishers they got Britishers got an opportunity to interfere there in the Indian states. Okay, so that upstart Rajaba told the English merchants, they will help me to defeat him. That upstart means arrogant. Upstart, arrogant. So whenever any king used to have any problem with the other king, then they used to tell that if you are having this problem, I will take help of the Britishers, that of the British army. So by this way, they used to pay some money to the British army and used to take their help. And in this manner, British army or the Britishers, they got an opportunity to interfere there in the internal disputes of Indian kings. Okay, so how the Indian kings were short-sighted? They were short-sighted because for their internal disputes, they invited the Britishers and they took help of the British army. Okay, army that of the East India Company. So due to this, what happened? English East India Company got an opportunity to interfere there in the internal matters of Indian kings. The people had no peace due to such constant fights. For people, there was no peace due to such constant fights. Such kind of constant fights used to be there between different Indian kings. Okay, so Indian kings at that time, they used to fight with one another, and due to this, Britishers, they got an opportunity to rule over our country. The rivalries helped the East India Company and it could easily subdue Indian princes one by one. Now these rivalries, these fights, rivalries means fights. These fights between the Indian kings helped the British East India Company to establish its rule there in our country. Okay, instead of fighting collectively against the East India Company, Indian princes, Indian kings, they used to fight with each other. And this gave an opportunity to the East India Company to establish its rule strongly there in our country. Okay, children, so you have understood it, how East India Company was able to establish its rule there in our country. Yes, children, tell me the answer. How English East India Company was able to establish its rule in our country. Yes, children, tell the answer.
In our ancient times, the kings used to fight each other to guard their empires. So and they took the help of British uh,
Yes, Chinmay.
colonial people to to win the fight, and when the British colonial people have an opportunity to rule our country.
Yes, Chinmay, very much correct. Because Indian kings, they used to fight with each other and to solve these disputes. They used to take help of the army of British East India Company. So by this way, the East India Company got an opportunity to establish its role there in our country. Okay. Then a far-seeing ruler like the brave Tipu of Mysore fought the British till he died fighting. But it is not like that all the Indian rulers at that time, they were short-sighted. All the rulers were not short-sighted. There were also some brave rulers. For example, Tipu Sultan. Okay, so some of the rulers, they understood that Britishers' final intention is to rule our country. So they raised their voice against the Britishers and they died while fighting. They sacrificed their life for our motherland. Okay, so some of the rulers were there, some of the Indian kings were there who raised their voice against the Britishers. They fought bravely and they sacrificed their life in the battlefield. Okay, children. Now, how did Indians reacted to these conquests? What was the reaction of Indian common man? How the people reacted towards it? Okay, that idea you will get in this paragraph, that what was the opinion of people, how the people reacted against these conquests. Thank God, there is peace in the country now, no more wars and no looting by thugs. Some of the people, they used to consider it good, that now there will be no more fightings and there will be no more looting by the criminals. It is God who sent the Britishers. Some of the people used to say it is God that has sent the Britishers there in our country. Our destiny is linked with them. Some of the people used to say that our destiny means fate. Our fate is linked with the Britishers. The white man has killed or dethroned our kings. Some of the people used to say that the white man, the Britishers, they have killed our king and they have dethroned them. Dethroned means to remove from power. Some kings were not good, but after all, they were of this land. Some of the people, they believe that after all, the kings were not good, but they were the sons of this soil. They were the people of our own country. Okay. Now we have become slaves of foreigners. Now we have become slaves of foreigners. Some of the people used to say. So such kind of reaction was there among the people against the British rule. You have understood, children? What was the reaction of different people? How the people reacted against the British rule?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, British rule from 1765 to 1836. Religious leaders preached ideas like untouchability and child marriage. Now, meanwhile, what happened? There were many religious leaders, many social reformers, and these social reformers, they guided people regarding the drawbacks there in Indian society. Okay, they told that these things are not good and people should get rid of these ill practices. For example, at that time in Indian society, the practice of untouchability was there and the practice of child marriage was there. Okay, child marriage was there, the practice of untouchability was there. Okay, so These religious leaders, these religious reformers, they taught people that they should rise above such kind of things and they should not practice untouchability, and a child marriages should also not take place. People also used to believe at that time that anyone who crosses the seas loses his religion. At that time, people in our country, they used to believe that if anyone is crossing the sea, then that person will lose his religion. So such kind of blind faiths used to be there in people. People used to have such kind of superstitions. Superstition means blind faith. All the misery in the world is due to women. Some people, they used to think that all the misery, all the problems, all the griefs in the world are due to women. The truth was that India had lost self-respect. The British scorned them. The British used to scorn them. The British used to hate them. The natives are unworthy of trust, incapable of honesty. The Britishers used to believe that the natives, the people of native means a person who is born in a specified place, you write. The person born in a specific Okay, so Britishers used to consider the local people as whom they could not trust. Okay, the natives are unworthy. They used to consider the natives as unworthy of trust. True, your honor, but I am honest. People used to, some of the people, they used to tell that we are honest. Being merchants, the British wanted quick profits. Their heavy taxes forced farmers to abandon their fields. Now, Britishers were merchants and their key objective was to earn profit. Okay, and for earning profit, they imposed heavy taxation on Indian farmers. And due to heavy taxation, some of the Indian farmers, they have to abandon their fields. Abandon means to leave, to desert. Okay, so they have to leave this work permanently. They had to leave the work of farming permanently. Why? Because Britishers imposed heavy taxation on them and the income from farming was not that much that they could pay their taxes. Okay, that's why some of them abandoned farming. So why some of the people under British rule, they abandoned farming? Because Britishers used to collect heavy taxes from them and the output from farming was not that much that they were able to pay these taxes. So being unable to pay these taxes, some of them quitted from farming, some of them left farming. But your men are taking all my crop, you are still in arrears. If you don't pay, next week I will send you to jail. Now the British, you can see all these pictures. The lesson has been described through pictures. Okay, so you can see in your textbook and you can understand it. The officers of the East India Company, they used to come to the farmers and they used to take their crops. When the farmers, they used to raise objection, then they used to tell that you are still in arrears, still dues are there on your part, and to recover the dues, we have to take your crop. And if this crop we will take, then also arrears are there on you. So by this way, they torture Indian farmers. Still, the British invented other methods which gave them more profits. And not only this, they adopted many other methods with the help of which they used to torture Indian people. The goods manufactured in England should not have any import duty when brought into India. The goods which were imported from Britain, they were devoid of import duty. Import duty was not there on them, and due to that, what happened? They were available at a cheap rate, and Indian goods, they were handmade goods and they were quite costly. Okay, so by this way, what happened? British goods got a huge market, and Indian goods, they were not getting a good market. Why Indian goods were not getting market? Because the cost of Indian industrial product was quite high, and that of the British was quite less. Why the British goods were available at a cheap rate? Because they were exempted from import duty. And as they were exempted from import duty, they were available at a cheap rate. So Britishers at that time, they were the rulers. So they made favorable policies for the British industries, and they ruined Indian industries. So not only the agricultural sector, but the industrial sector also suffered badly at the hands of British rule. Neither the condition of agricultural sector was good, nor the condition of the industrial sector was good. Okay. Now the British policies ruined the export. The British policies ruined the export artisans and their business. So due to this, what happened? The business of the Indian craft persons, the Indian handmade goods, that crippled, that was totally destroyed, because they were not getting the market. Why they were not getting the market? Because in market, British goods were available at a cheap rate as compared to the Indian goods. So the consumers, obviously, what the consumer will do? Yes, children, tell me what the consumer will do.
Consumer will buy the British goods.
Yeah, the consumer will purchase the product that is available at a cheap rate, and due to the favorable trade policies, British goods were available at a cheap rate. Okay, so buyers, they used to purchase British goods, and this gave a severe blow to Indian industries. Okay, Indian homemade goods. So this is how Indian industries suffered badly at the hands of the British rule, because Britishers, they made policies favorable for their industries. Now children, so in this British rule from 1765 to 1836, you have understood that how Indian farming sector and Indian industrial sector suffered badly at the hands of the Britishers. Now Ram Mohan Roy from 1772 to 1833, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Do you know about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, children?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What do you know about Raja Ram Mohan Roy? Yes, children. You.
Raja Ram Mohan Roy of Bengal, the person who want to reform the society.
Yes. Repeat it, Aljia.
Uh, Raja Ram Mohan Roy of Bengal, the person who want to reform the society.
Okay. So he was a social reformer. Okay, and he reformed the Indian society. In his age, there were certain drawbacks there in our society. He raised his voice against these. Okay, at that time, the tradition of sati was there, and this widow remarriage was not permitted. child marriage was there. So against all these drawbacks of the Indian society at that time, he raised his voice. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. He understood what was wrong with the country. And what was wrong with the country in his opinion? In his opinion, people were not educated. And as people were not educated, they used to practice certain ill practices. Okay, and they used to have certain blind faiths. So he educated them about these things, and he asked them to eliminate all these things from their way of life. Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great. He asked people not to despise ourselves. Despise means hate, not to hate ourselves. He said that our ancient culture is great. We had a great ancient culture, he told to the people, and we are capable of greater achievements. We could do a lot of things. We can achieve much more, he told to the people. We must first reform our society. But for all these great achievements, what is required first of all? We have to reform ourselves. We ask the people that we can achieve a lot. We have a great ancient civilization. Okay, but at present we are having certain drawbacks that we have to understand, and we have to eliminate these drawbacks. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us. He said that there are certain superstitions in our society. Superstitions means blind faiths in which we practice, we follow blindly without any logical argument. So you write the meaning. Superstitions means blind faiths. So at that time there were a number of blind faiths in Indian society. For example, one was this, that people should not cross the sea. Okay, if they will cross the sea, then it is against their religion. So such kind of things were there. He told his wife Uma, Raja Ram Mohan Roy told his wife Uma, cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is same. He used to tell his wife that cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Likewise, different religions, they are having different teaching, but the gist, the essence of all their religious teachings is same. Okay, and that is the common good of the mankind. All the religions are teaching the same thing, and they are for the betterment of human beings. Okay, so these were his religious views. Yes, children, tell me about the religious views of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. What Raja Ram Mohan Roy told to his wife? Yes, tell me what Raja Ram Mohan Roy told to his wife. That yes, children, take active part there in the classroom discussion, children. Yes, Komal Regar. Yeah, if you will not take part, children, that will also affect your evaluation process. You should take part in the discussion. When the questions are asked to you, you should answer. Yes, Komal Regar. What Raja Ram Mohan Roy told to his wife? That yes, Jia Patil.
So may I?
Yes, yes, Karisma. Yes, Karisma.
He told that cows are of different colors, but the color of milk is same.
Yes.
As same as teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same.
Very good. So likewise, children, you should not hesitate and you should take part there in the classroom discussion. Okay, it will not serve the purpose when the question is asked to you, you will tell, sir, network problem. If you are able to communicate this network problem, then why can't you tell the answer? I know. At the same time, you can tell your answer also. So take part, don't hesitate and communicate what that is there in your mind. Okay. So what he told to his wife, that cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is same. In the similar manner, different religious teachers or the teachings of different religions, that is, religions are different, but the teaching of these religions is same. The essence, the gist of these religious teachings is same. So we should not create difference on the name of religion, okay, and we should give respect to every religion. He was attracted by science and modern knowledge. He was very much attracted by science and modern knowledge. Knowledge should be practical and scientific. His view was that knowledge should be practical and it should be scientific. It should be based on reason and logic. Okay. He crossed the seas and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them he crossed the sea, and this was to prove that he had crossed the sea and it is not making any ill impact on him, because it was a belief at that time that one should not cross the sea. We accept you as rulers, and you must accept us as subject. But you must remember the responsibility a ruler owes to his subject. So he went to England. He told to them that we accept you as rulers, but you should also shoulder your responsibilities as rulers. You should consider us as your subject. You should consider us as your public, and you should do all the welfare work for our country. Okay, you should adopt, you should take the welfare steps for our country in the similar manner you are taking for your own public. Okay, you should also shoulder your responsibilities towards us. Then if you will do this, we will also consider you as our rulers. We accept you as, so this we have discussed. He started newspapers, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. He started newspaper also, but the Britishers, they were doubtful about him and they stopped that newspaper. So suspicious, what is the meaning? Suspicious means doubtful. Okay, children?
Okay, sir.
Yes. So this is about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a social reformer. He was a social reformer. He raised his voice against all the ill practices which were prevailing in Indian society at that time. He educated people about these superstitions, and he asked them that they should not practice all these superstitions. They should understand that with these we are not able to make progress. So he asked people to take education. He asked people to stop practicing all these blind faiths. Okay. He said that as long as we will keep on practicing, we will not be able to make our country a great country. So we should stop practicing these blind faiths. Now the next, children, it is about operations. Operation means the exercise of authority or power in a cruel manner. The exercise of authority or power in a cruel manner. So it is describing the period of a British rule from 1765 to 1835. But the British continued to oppress Indians in 1818. They had passed Regulation 3rd, under it an Indian could be jailed without a trial in a court. So Britishers, they continued subduing Indians, oppressing Indians, and as per this they passed a rule that any Indian could be put in jail without a trial. Means they will not be given an opportunity to go to court. They can't go to the court and they could be put there in the jail. If Britishers will find that they are going against the British government. All the time British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortunes in private businesses. British officers who used to work here, they made huge fortunes, they earned huge profits. In 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees in India. At that time, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees in India at that time. Governor General Bentinck reported back home, the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. Okay, the weavers, they were so helpless. They were not able to run their families because no profit was there. All that they used to earn, that was taken by the Britishers in the form of taxation. Okay, so it was a very harsh situation for them. It was a very tough time for them. Okay, so due to this, what happened? There was a great dissatisfaction. There was a great dissatisfaction among the weavers. There was a great dissatisfaction among the farmers. There was a great dissatisfaction among the industrialists. Not a single section of the Indian society was satisfied with the Britishers. And this led to a discontent among them, and slowly and gradually they started raising their voice against the Britishers. And all this paved the path for the revolt of 1857, that is termed as the first war of India's independence. Okay, so that we will study there in the next class. In the next class, we will study that what was the reason of dissatisfaction there among the Indian soldiers and the other sections of Indian society. Okay, children. So I hope what we have discussed you have understood. So you write the question that how different sections of the Indian society were oppressed by the Britishers. How different sections of the Indian society were oppressed by the Britishers. Okay, children, and you write a summary of the lesson, what we have discussed so far. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for teaching us. Thank you for teaching us, sir.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you,
Have a
sir.
nice
Bye.
day.
Thank you, sir, for teaching us. Bye. Bye.